Good morning, good time zone, everyone. Hello. Whoop. Gosh, Avalon's a good song. Hello. I made a bmod command. I should put it in the... Do you guys think... I'll post it in chat. Do you think this is a decent summary? I know people last time I did this... Hang on, bring the main scene up. Last time I did this, people's be asking, like, hey, what the fuck's your mod about? So there you go. Use some helmet mic audio for this? Oh, you like scratchy? I should ask Sniffin. Sniffin knows how to do that really well. Hang on, I'm just pulling it up. Hang on. Got some stuff I want to do today. I'm just checking my, my shit. Hang on, if I pull this up, is it on? Freelancer. Yeah! Okay. Hang on, I'm just checking something. Before I start, in my side monitors and such. Oh man. I'm just looking at my Darktide shop. I do this a lot with the new guns out. There's like a good bolter and a good shotgun in my shop, but I don't... It's the old shotgun, it's not the new one with the special abilities, so I don't think it's worth logging in for. Alright, I close that. How you doing? So, what's up? We did like a bit of a quarter day of this, half day of this earlier, where I didn't really accomplish a lot, but we did some like fun, basically all I did was like do some fun furballing. Alright, I could do Brain Cell 0. There you go, gotta reset Brain Cell. The furball was fun though, but I didn't accomplish a lot of work on that day. I want to get some more shit done today. I think today my goal is to get some encounters set up properly for this mod. I was having like a hard time getting them to be under my control very well last time. I want to redo the way I'm doing encounters today and like make them more defined. Last time I was doing like, I mean I can literally show you, I can go to the notepad and show you my gamma, my gamma notepad, which is not what I mean to show you. But I can show you my test encounter where I was doing like, did I just hear someone scream? Jesus. Where every one of these is like a different like building block of like maybe one enemy fighter spawn, maybe 3 spawn, maybe 2 spawn, and they would all just smush together into this random assortment. And I think today what I want to do is kind of like mix this up, and instead of doing this, oh, is my cat meowing? Do it more like you know, this group spawns and it is literally 1 heavy fighter, 1 light fighter, and 2 mediums, okay? This group spawns and it is 4 medium fighters. You know, like, do bigger wings, bigger building blocks, and through that way have more control. Hello, baby boy. Come here. Good boy. And that's useful for my testing purposes as well, but it's also probably useful for, like, what I'll want in the final mod as well. Is I'm not going to want them, like, spawning in dribs and drabs, because the way I'm fighting enemies in this isn't really realistic for how the actual game's going to be. What I'm doing right now is basically quick saving and quick loading into an area, and that forces the game to like load as many encounters as possible for that area, kind of. That's not how it's going to work in reality. In reality, like, you're going to fly into an area and it's going to pick one of these to spawn, but not necessarily all of them at once. It'll just be like, oh, like, here's 1 fighter. So it's better anyway to make it like a cohesive group. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. I'm going to start off with that anyway. And maybe I'm going to do a bit of like more Liberty ship line work as well, and maybe Liberty weapons, but that's the main thing. But first, a little warm-up. Let's remember how that fucking furball was going last time. Not in the Hawk again, please. Put me in the Falcon again. I want to do that furball again. That furball was great. And then we're gonna mix it up. Probably gonna do some smaller fights again after this, so I wanna do it 1 or 2 times again because it's really fun. It's a fucking mess, and it's a fun mess. If you missed this last stream, we've got like I set up a bit of a giant dogfight of Navy versus Xenos. And it's pretty fucking rad. They're gonna find Navy who need my help the most. This one needs my help. I've actually got someone on them, that's good. They're actually okay. Fuck, I'm getting blasted. I got 2 on me, I think. Oh my god, I got like, yeah, 2 or 3 on me. I'm just gonna get on the turret because I can't find anyone better. I love hearing and seeing those flares go off. Oh, I get hit by my own missile. But I really want this guy. So it's worth it. One more hit. Yeah. Who else needs help? I got 2 on me. I probably should be helping myself, but the AI needs help more. I'm better. This guy needs help. Fuck. One more hit. Fucking asteroid. Gaia. That last fight we had of this with the... Get him, Navy. Get him, Navy. That last fight we had of this with the fucking, me and the Navy hanging on against the last Xenos was so cool. Have you tried having a laser gun in your butt to shoot your pursuers? It's called a turret, and they do exist in this. I've actually removed a lot of them. By default, the shipload doesn't just have a lot of rear-facing turrets, actually. Oh, clever girl. Bounce off the rock. That's done. Alright. So, let's mix this up again. That's all good and fun. But let's change this up. Hang on. So what I want to do is kind of like not any of this. I want to like be done with all of this. Turn off all these perms, which I can do quite easily by just going weight 0 on these perms. I want to do some new ones, basically. Okay. So, what do I want to fight? I want to think about... Oh, that bed looks weird up here. I want to think about what we're going to put around the sector. So let me jump back into the game for a second. So, imagine that we spawn on planet Denver. As I'm going to think of this from the perspective of lawful players for the start, green players, not players who are red and are fighting the Navy. We're going to think about this from green players, because that's like the default. The default player, more often than not, I think is... Hang on. This Hulk wants to kill me. The default player is going to be green. You know, it's going to be green-sided. I think. In my experience with Freelancer, like, there's a lot of unlawful players, but... generally, lawful or neutral is like the default. Law-abiding. So, let's say we spawn here on Denver, and you buy one of your 3 ships, or you start off with, I don't know, we gotta set up how you're gonna start out as well, like, do you start out with, like, just a Falcon loadout like this, it's good to go so you don't get noob trapped, or do you start out with, like, you know, nothing, and you get to, like, just pick what ship you want to start with and, like, kind of pick your poison from the start, and make it feel a bit more like your own choice. But either way, you get your starter loadout. You have to imagine for players who aren't very good at the game and, you know, want to dip their feet in, like, and I don't mean not very good at the game as, like, an insult. Like, I mean, literally when I started playing this mod as well, I also got bodied by, like, 1 to 2 of these AI that I designed and developed. And that's how they are. They're meant to be player-like in third level. They're meant to be very, very hard. You're meant to have to learn how to defeat them. 1 or 2 of them is meant to still be a threat to you. So, we want to have encounters that ramp up from... You know, we don't want to just lock anyone out of the mod, obviously. You want to be able to give everybody a chance to do something without it being like, oh, I can't fight 3 fighters at once, guess I'll fucking die then. Literally. So, I've kind of laid this out before, planning-wise already. With the idea being that, like, this asteroid field here, which is just behind Denver. In fact, if I just jump over here. Oh, you can't see it. Why can't I see the giant asteroid field behind? Oh, it's like way behind Denver. There it is, yeah. This asteroid field over here. So this field behind Denver, because it's the closest to... If you imagine this is like the Liberty Navy's like main base, so this is like the most order against unlawful. It's like total Warhammer order and chaos. This is like the most order area. So this asteroid field makes sense, especially if you spawn here, as like the newbie questing zone, the Goldshire, the Northshire Abbey. This is where we want to put it. So I'm thinking we want to have some encounters here that are like very low, like lowest possible threat for you to dip your feet into without being like so easy that you're not learning anything or you're not like having fun. Because obviously if there's just like no threat at all, it's boring. So for now I'll probably use Xenos, but I think ideally I'd like to have like red freelancer NPCs, like just random thugs, essentially random bandits. Over here is like solo enemies. And the other thing we can do is have lots of green presence. So we'll have like a low... Encounters will be small over here, like 1 to 2 to like, you know, ships at once coming at you. Maybe 3 is like a rare boss fight for a new player here, you know what I mean? So you can get used to the idea. You know, you can die, it's fine, you can die, and this is not like you lose all your shit like Tarkov or anything. Yeah, Goblin Fudge, that's right. This is like where you're fighting like the boars and shit, that's right. The Defias Brotherhood footpads. So we can do that, and then the other thing we can do is we can have like a high presence of Liberty Navy patrols. So we can have like, you know, plenty of patrols that leave from Denver, and this is an actual thing, like this is how spawns work a lot, is if you're just doing an area field, it's just an area field, they just magically spawn. But if you're doing like patrols, which is a different type of spawn in Freelancer, they actually need to have a base they start and end on. So we'd probably have, yeah, Liberty Navy patrols flying out from Battleship, I think it's Battleship Rio Grande here around Denver, and doing a patrol through this asteroid field and coming back. And so then if you are a player, we want to time the frequency of that, so that if you're a player here and you're learning the ropes, they're not always going to be there, because otherwise that just steals all your fun. You know, you're not learning or having any encounters on your own if there's always greens helping you. But frequent enough that you know if you're like in real shit, you can hopefully just flail your mouse around and dodge like crazy and pray that like you'll get lucky and Navy will come and bail you out if you last long enough. So yeah, I'd say 3 is like the max number of enemies you want to see at once in a fight against players here in Cheyenne Asteroid Field. What's the name of the planet Denver's capital city? I don't think it says. I'll give you the info. Planet Denver. Does it have lore? Yeah, it has lore down here. Denver was originally the home of miners, smelters, and shipyard workers. This is not our lore, this is just vanilla lore, by the way. This is Chris Roberts. Then the Digital Anvil team. Shipyard workers, but these industries eventually collapsed in 600 after Sirius, which is when everything was founded, is when they left the Sol system. With the declining long-term water situation in the California system, however, the wealthy elite of Los Angeles, yes, there's a planet Los Angeles, began to look elsewhere for a vacation spot and found Denver's rough, beautiful vistas to be ideal. My cat. Emigration from Los Angeles and Manhattan injected new life into the Denver economy, reviving the planet even as the new upper class assumed control of the local government. Today, Cryer Pharmaceuticals maintains a major research lab on Denver, while Agera Technologies has a planet-side headquarters to oversee its interest in the system. Liberty Police Incorporated is well paid by Colorado's new elite to handle security. DSC have also recently opened large corporate offices on planet in order to coordinate the construction operation of new orbital salvage yards. That's vanilla lore. Our lore is pretty different around here, because our lore is like, there's a fucking martial law crisis going on right now, where the jump gates to the rest of the universe have been shut the fuck down, and everybody's stuck in Colorado. Which also, just gameplay-wise, is what we're doing, but for right now, for our first little draft of this. But it doesn't tell you what the capital city of planet Denver is. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to tell you. Kingdom so says, declining long-term water situation in the California system. How topical. Yes, how topical in this game from 2003. But yeah, so back on topic. it's harder for me to test against, like, single enemies because I'm not new to the mod anymore. But we can do it. We can just make sure they work and assume that, like, one enemy is, you know... There's always going to be a player who needs, like, that lowest possible threat to get used to the game. Like, there's going to be people who play this who've never even played fucking Freelancer before and need to, like, get the hang of things. So, absolutely, we should have that. Another thing to think about for new player activity, as we're thinking about that, is... people won't say I'm too good. Well, but yeah, I'm like, I'm trying to say this about like any of the egoism involved with saying things like I'm so good at this game, but like I am experienced with these fighters, absolutely. You guys have watched me iterate on the stream, like try to grind up my ability to fight them at once. That's just how it is. Hey, Gimma. And I want other people to be able to do that who are new to the mod, so you don't get that by just throwing the hardest shit at them. You got to give them starter stuff to get used to. Why did they come back here? Sorry, my cat came in me out. I forgot. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Another new player activity thing that can be done, which I have to think about balancing at some point, is missions. So if I go ahead and land on Battleship Rio Grande here.
Understood. Your request to dock is granted. Proceed to dock 1.
There are these things that I haven't touched in a very long time, but they're a huge part of core vanilla gameplay, and they are missions. Funnily enough, like, we haven't really been thinking of missions much of our core gameplay, but they're going to be more of a side thing, I think, for us. But it's like core gameplay for vanilla. It's like, you pick one of these, and they're randomly generated, and you go out, and you fucking do them. And they give you money, just straight up reward. What we're going to do is probably more like, you'll fight enemies and they'll have like bounty tickets on them, so you can just go out in the open world and just do stuff and like get, you know, bounties from them or loot to sell, and that's how you make money that way. Just because it's like more organic and part of the world, and yeah, just like these are like their own little procedural thing, which is fine too, but they're also harder to balance in some ways. Probably what we'll end up doing of these is making them more like things you do for... I mean, it's a good way to do group content, isn't it? Like, they're a system that we should use for something, even if we replace them in a lot of ways of our open world gameplay. They'd be a good way to do group content is one thing we could do with them, because you can just balance the missions to be like, okay, when you pick a mission, there's like fucking 20 guys in it, or 12 guys, you need to bring your friends. And the reason that'd be good is because it's consensual, you know, like... Open world, you don't necessarily consent to running into an area that has like 12 fucking enemies at once. You're like, well, I didn't pick to do this necessarily. And when the universe is bigger, like when you learn that knowledge and you can go, okay, I won't go to that area, that's for groups. But right now, when we only have one system, we probably don't want to dedicate entire swaths of it to be like specifically group content, if you know what I mean. Though I'm probably going to do that with some of the more like harder areas a bit. You know, but... The missions would be, you know, I'm thinking about this as I go here. The missions would be a good way to, like, do that. The missions would be a good way to go, like, okay, they're a big money payout, but you have to bring, like, a lot of people, you know? Like, they're just designed for a lot of enemies. The other thing we could do with jobs, because, yeah, they're like their own thing, independent of the open world gameplay, so you can balance them completely differently. And I feel like it'd be kind of a waste to not, because it's a great opportunity to just have something that everyone understands this is very different to the open world shit. Though it is still in the open world, to be clear. The other thing we could do is we could burn down the money and just make it not really about making much money, but more about reputation. Reputation is our thing in Freelancer. It's a whole thing. And you can tie rewards to it. Like you can tie being able to shop at certain faction shops, be able to buy certain items and shit to rep. Apart from other things, like, you know, them not fucking shooting you. Some mods do really cool shit where, like, you can get AI wingmen to follow you and stuff, but we don't have that. That's, like, a technical thing. Though it is cool. Anyway, so... we could just make them about rep grinding. Either way, I need to think about these as well, as a thing that a new player could be doing, too. What are the... I'm gonna take one. I don't remember. I haven't played one of these for, like, 3 years. I'm gonna see what these are like with the way we've balanced it. I don't know if they even work right. Track down the criminal Brad Alwood. This menace's last known location was in the Cheyenne asteroid field. Alamosa. Somebody sent you to Alamosa, which is going to be a much more dangerous area, so that's funny. Silverton. They send you all around. Silverton and Sector F3. Okay, so do like a difficulty 3 in... where is Sector F3? Oh, it's like right there in... perfect, it's right there in Cheyenne asteroid field. This probably isn't going to be like working at all, but that's why I want to see what's going on here.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1,
Because these are
this
different
is Battleship
configurations.
Rio Grande. You are cleared for
So
launch.
it probably won't even spawn the
Good
right
flight.
things, but I just want to see if it is. So you would take one of these
Enemy
missions.
ships will be at the mission waypoint. Refer to the nav map for specific instructions.
I'm gonna fly it natural because like there's a certain distance enemies start to spawn out on these missions. Legus Latrice says, how do you manage to play Freelancer? I got the original box, I can't manage to install or start the game. This is like its own little version that we have that's like open source and a lot of shit. It's not like a CD version or anything. Yeah, so it's not the CD version. When we do end up having this out, though, we'll be able to release the files of it. There are the files you can
When I'm
download at the
done
moment.
with you, there won't be
Hang on.
anything left to ID.
Enemy ships in range.
If you're interested, you can join the Discord down below and go to the Freelancer channel and ask in there for a playable version.
Get back into battle.
And someone should be able to actually help you out.
To run.
So this is giving
You're
us...
back within range of the
What's their
waypoint.
loadouts?
Try to keep it that way.
No, yeah, they are loaded out properly. That's cool. And they've got a couple of Navy on them, too. And they look loaded out, too. Okay, nice. So it's actually using the correct loadouts. That's cool. Hopefully the correct pilots, too. I don't know.
I see my target.
Let's get you to come out here. Is that like the main target? Because it looks like a different UI to usual. I can't remember the name of the main guy. It's a good way to think of like learner missions too for learner people, because like you fly out on a mission like this and it's like, oh, like you get it's very defined, you know, like out in the open world it's like it kind of depends more on what rolls randomly in the spawns. Whereas if you take a mission like this, and you could be more often like, okay, you take this mission and you're gonna have more often than not like teammates, like AI wingmen. Like this is still pretty tough, you know, like even though I have 2 wingmen, these Xenos have decided to shoot me. And they're fucking my shield up. If I was really new to this mod, I'd be fucking stressed right now. I'm more experienced, so I know that it's just like I wasn't flying great, and I need to dodge more. Like now, I'm being a bit cocky. And let my shield build back up. Ooh, reinforcements. They would have names. You're done. I gotta turn this music up. I gotta like put my interception music and my... I wanna make a combined playlist that's combined high octane interception music and low chill ambience. I'm just gonna flip between them randomly because I need both. When I fight, I need the interception music, and when I'm working, I need the ambient music. I'm gonna call it just the Freelancer playlist. I'm just gonna go to my interceptions playlist. I'm just gonna put everything from there into this new playlist of mine on Winamp. And I'm just gonna do the same thing with my ambient playlist that we're listening to right now. And I can just like shuffle between them with my hotkeys. Let's see, like that's too dramatic. Perfect, there we go. Now I can just go. The only problem might be I think there's more ambience and interception music. Am I on the new playlist? This is all ambient. There's... Oh, I only added 1 song? I added like 3 songs from the interceptions list for some reason. That would do it. How about we try adding all of them? That might help. No, not to the Dark Tide montage playlist, no! What's that saying that again, too? Weird, it's like getting stuck on one. Maybe instead if I copy... Can't copy, can't duplicate the playlist, weird. Sorry, like, the simplest thing here, Winamp is giving me trouble for some reason. Let's send those. How can he work on a mod? He can't even make Winamp work. Alright, now it goes down from... to naval warfare. Is it the lowest one? Yeah, that should be it. So I have 30 interception tracks. And 47 ambient tracks. Guys, what's that in a combination? That's right, 76 apparently. Alright, so now if I go... There we go, that's better. Shit. When you get a bunch on you, that's when you really gotta worry. Well, even with like not so great dodging... Whoa! Help me, Navy, holy fuck. Even in not so great dodging, a basic shield will keep you not too stressed, I think, against a single enemy. Though they can fuck you up, but like, you do still have the dodge. But when you have like 2 or 3 on you at once, you really want to like, look for a better opportunity to engage. I've only got 2 on me right now, I think, because the Navy are peeling some off me, which is great. That's what we want. So now I can 1v1 this guy. He just sat in the air, what a 5D chess move. He just sat there until I flew right by him again, expecting him to be coming at me. Lower cannon hits. Fuck. Fuck! My shield's really low, so just to be careful. Bought the flare. Got him. Now I can get the everyone on me. Right, I can help the Navy with this one, and then the Navy will help me. Missile. Bought the flare again.
Contact in range. Moving to attack.
So low. Game's really quiet. I must have turned the game way down. I think I did. What do I usually listen to this on?
Baby, all together.
Quite loud for us on the stream. Whoa, is it like deafening now then? Does it need to go down a bit?
Enemy contact destroyed. You did it. The area is clear. Well done. Mission Commission signing off.
Oh, did I just crash? Missions must be buggy, crash broken. Well, that's good to know. Is it on a recording stream? It is, yeah. But apart from whatever that crash is, which will be very fixable, it'll just be something we haven't set up right. Because we haven't worked on these at all, really. But it's good to know that before whatever we haven't set up right, that those are working fine. That's good. That's like automatically using my loadouts. Alright, so let me back up. So now you go back to the ambience, right? So, they exist too.
1-1. This is Planet Denver. Docking ring cleared. Good luck out there.
So this is our starter area. We've been fighting over in Alamosa as a test area. This is probably going to be a much harder area. That's over that cloud over there. That's going to be a much harder area, probably the hardest area for Lawfuls. This being the easiest, so it's going to go clockwise. Except, you know, not starting at 12. Clockwise, where this will be down here. Let's fly over. This will be like a combined area. So I can even take the lane, actually.
Dock.
So once you're done, or, you know, you just want to skip ahead of it, but if you're not going to the newbie sort of Cheyenne asteroid field, you'll be coming down to the Silverton asteroid field. The Silverton asteroid field is going to be like a conflict area, is the idea. Turn down a little bit more, so I'm getting my volume into there. So you come down to here. And this area, the idea for this one is that it's a kind of even conflict zone between both of the major combat factions here. Which is the Xenos and the Liberty Navy. So, in this zone, it'll be like a mining zone. All of the mining zones in Colorado are meant to be like pretty low yield at this point. They've been stripped in like a giant gold rush that happened ages ago. But there's like trace elements left that miners are still trying to strip. So you'd be flying along here, and you'd have unaffiliated freelancers trying to mine, like neutral lawfuls, green freelancers. You would have Xenos trying to do their own mining, and also DSE, Deep Space Engineering, would also have their own mining operations here as well. And that would be like more support kind of encounters of like, here's a freighter and some combat service vehicles, I think they're called, combat support vehicles, CSVs in this game, are a type of ship, flying around mining stuff with some escorts. And then layered on top of that as like the ambient life in the background, you'll have Xenos combat groups and Liberty Navy combat groups basically flying around, either as things that the player's going to run into or that the Liberty Navy runs into each other with and they fight each other. So, down here we can go a bit bigger. The median combat encounter down here is probably a wing size of 3, because I think once you've got used to the game, you can I can 1v3 pretty reliably. Not everyone is going to be at the, like, I'd say I'm pretty advanced on my ability to dogfight the AI in this point. I know how they tick. So 3 is probably still too tough for people who have just come from the other zone and are getting used to the game. Especially because it's going to be one of the major zones in the game. We don't want it to be too hard. So you wouldn't want everything here to be 1v3 for the player. Offsetting that, though, is there'll be a lot of life in this field is the idea. So if we just have it be like, there are some 1v2 encounters that can spawn, or sorry, just some 2 enemy encounters that can spawn, then we can have that just be like rarer, but it's a thing that happens. The average and most likely is to run into 3 enemies, but we also have to consider that this is multiplayer. We don't want this to just be like, it's balanced for what's safe for a single player, because then as soon as you get a single wingman, the game becomes incredibly easy. Like, it's just gonna be like, okay, now it's 2v3, this is way easier. So we want to have like room for there to be bigger encounters here too, is what I'm thinking. So maybe 2 is the lowest you can encounter here at once, and it's a bit rarer, it's a bit more uncommon. 3 is quite common. 3 and 4 probably very common. It also doesn't have to be just upfront what you meet at once. You can also balance things so it's like there's a lot of like constant new encounters reinforcing constantly. Like you'll get into a fight with 2, and then while you're busy with them, it's quite likely more show up. And they can be friendly or enemies as well. And the fights are probably going to be like really dynamic here. It's probably going to be like very, very simulation-y and lived in rather than very super like strictly balanced. It'll probably be like, okay, one time I was fighting in this field and fucking 6 Xenos jumped me like 3 at a time, and then another time it'll be like, oh, I would like flew around of a Liberty Navy patrol, and you know, we just stomped the Xenos. Probably be like a bit back and forth. That's another thing to think of too, is that players can literally choose to patrol and stick around with friendlies. For example, if as NPCs in this game aren't persistent by default, it's a thing you need to like mod yourself to make them like, if they're not in the player's view, they stick around and do their own thing. But if you do keep them in view, they are persistent. So a player can just be like, oh, there's a Liberty Navy group here, I'm just going to stick with them. And that's another way, if you're having trouble in this zone's encounters, you can just stick with greens, and that'll skew things in your favor. So, with that in mind, maybe even 4 should be the average for here. 3, like, pretty common still. 2, the lowest but possible. And then maybe throw in, like, the odd elite group of, like, 4 to 6. And it doesn't just have to be numbers, too. It can also just be better loadouts. We can also do, like, I want to do elites. So there'll be, like, regular Falcons, which is what we've been fighting. Regular Falcons, Eagles, and Hawks on the Xenos side. Same for the Navy, too, on the other direction, if you're a red player. But then probably what I'll do is have elite loadouts, which are just, their equipment is just better. Their ships perform slightly better. I probably have a custom paint scheme. And their pilots are better skilled. And I'm planning for them to be much more common in these 2 fields, but be like a kind of a rarer thing that does exist in this one. I'm flying straight for a trapdoor platform, let's not do that. These will probably be in these systems as well, these trapdoor platforms, but right now they're here for testing. So, yeah, I think that makes sense for here. Then we would be going over to... There's this jump hole over here, New York jump hole. There's gonna be, like, transports and smugglers going through here as well. Unlawful smugglers, Xenos smugglers will be coming from this jump hole, where is it? Even though players can't use it right now, or can I? Did we not lock this? No, it is locked. It's just gonna say locked. They'll be coming from this jump hole and flying over to their base here, and between these jump holes as well. And then we're going to come over to the third of the 4 fields. But actually, no, before we do, we're going to go to Pueblo. So let's go to Pueblo. Because I'm thinking of it in terms of zones. And there is the 4 fields, but then there's also Pueblo, which is another area.
Dog.
Yeah, Planet Gunnison. Those of you who are Americans understand this shit more. To me, Planet Gunnison is like, oh, I guess that's a place. I guess that's a place in Colorado, in real life. Because that's how Chris Roberts did all the locations. So Pueblo Station is one of the areas outside of the asteroid fields. There's kind of like these 4 asteroid fields in Colorado, and then there's this like, open area in the middle, essentially. And not kind of the lanes. The open area is going to be not really a lot of Xenos, because this is the basic theme of the system is that the Xenos live inside their forests, essentially. They live inside the mountains, they live inside the asteroid fields because they're insurgents. And then the Liberty Navy controls the open because they have like frigates and capital ships and shit. But those ships can't really go into the asteroid fields very well because they're also filled with Xenos LRM freighters that shoot them from the safety of the rocks. So this is one of the places that can be like a kind of a distinct encounter area that isn't in the asteroid fields. It's Pueblo Station. It's run by Ajira Technologies, who are like a research science company. I think they make the jump gates and shit in the lore of this game. Yeah. Technology company responsible for jump gate and trade lane technology. So around here, you're probably gonna have like, and over there there's like a prison thing as well. There's like a Liberty. Jump over here. Whoa! Shit! Oh god! No! No! I jumped into that. This is like a prison area. This is like modded in by Urk actually, but this is like a Liberty Police Incorporated prison station and a prison liner as well. Yeah, I no-clipped inside the station. Whoops. And it's got like a bunch of weapons platforms and stuff, but we're probably gonna mix it up. So the plan for around here is that like Liberty Navy is gonna leave from Denver, leave from the battleship, come over here and patrol around here. And it's gonna be mainly a green zone in the middle here. But right here, this asteroid field, that's where the Xenos base is, or where the Unlawful base is. I think right now it's a hacker's base, but we're probably gonna make it a Xenos base. That's where the Xenos base is right now, right in that field right over there. So it's pretty close. Like you've got red and green grinding up against each other pretty close. So I think what'll happen is we'll have like Liberty Navy and Xenos like having their main intentional skirmish line like right on the edge of the field. Right about here, right where the rocks start, is where patrols that are patrolling around Pueblo will run into Xenos who are patrolling around the edge of their home base field. So that'll be another good place for like, apart from like the mining anything goes down in Silverton Field down to the south, this is probably a good area to have like some more, you know, running into each other for deliberate action, green versus red team fighting kind of stuff. Over here, this is the field with the Unlawful base in it, or a base. This is going to be probably the 3rd out of 4 or 4 out of 3 of rising difficulty for lawful players. It's going to be full of like weapons platforms, ambush trapdoor platforms, long-range weapons and stuff like that when you wander into it, you're not meant to be there. Heavy Xenos patrols. Probably put a lot more frequency of elite Xenos here. And I think this is an area where if you're hostile to the Xenos, you know what you're getting yourself into. I think an L long-range missile just locked onto me. Oh yeah, you can actually see him. That's spooky. That's quite spooky. And if I don't dodge it all, those railguns are hitting me that I haven't got damage yet, thank god. Watching long-range LRMs fucking launch and lock onto you is very spooky looking. I might need to up their lifetime. I think they're probably going to expire before they get to me. Though, then again, I'm running away. That's fine. I'm going to have to E-kill dodge them. I didn't do that very well. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. They were not as close as I thought they were. That was a bad time to try and juke them. So around here... Yeah, probably like... What do you think? This is probably an area that if you go here, you know what you're getting yourself into. Like I said, I'd say like... Have some engagements here be soloable still pretty comfortably. Like maybe the lowest here is 3 instead of 2. But have it probably go much higher, like you can run into 2 wings at once. Probably like a very quick reinforcement time on the Xenos here actually. So rather than running into 8 at once, it's more like you run into 3 or 4 here. And you can try and farm them if you want and farm the elites for better gear and bounties and stuff. But then you need to be quick because we'll have like a quick reinforcement time here. So if you stick around here, it's not going to be Navy pilots reinforcing either. Like all the encounters are going to be red. So more likely you're going to get dogpiled. And probably if you're not done within like a minute or 2, you're going to start getting reaction wings coming at you. So then you can farm it, but it's like this nuanced gameplay of like, it's a bit of a time trial. Like, you know you can solo 1 wing at a time, but you need to be quick. And you need to be ready to be quick on your feet and get out of there if you start getting overwhelmed. That's probably where that one will go. And then it's good because like, it allows solo players to play there in a different way to a team. Whereas a team, you know, could maybe go there and just try and farm it, like, for real, until they run out of supplies. And over here we have, well actually before we jump to there, we have Planet Gunnison Shore, which I don't super care about. I don't really have any big ideas for that. But over here we have like another smaller cloud over here once you leave the base. Asteroid field. It's where the old Colorado to Kepler jump gate is that's now like destroyed and defunct. So you've got like a quick hop between asteroid fields here from Copperton over to here. I don't think there's a lot of strategic value to this area, because that's a lot of the ways I try to base the spawns as well, is like try to make sense. It's mainly like probably going to be a useful hopping point for the Xenos between these 2 fields, because like we said, this isn't an asteroid field, this is a scrap field. Because like we said, like the main advantage for the Xenos to stop getting overrun by the bigger ships of Liberty in this system is the fact that they have these fields to hide in, where the bigger ships have more trouble operating and fighting. So there's going to be Xenos patrols here, I think, just because they want to keep a whole of this area, just because it's a useful route for their smugglers. Like, you're not going to go straight from this jump hole across the open, because then the frigate might get you, the Liberty frigate that's going to patrol around here. So instead, you'd go from here to here and do like an L shape, a dog leg. So there'll probably still be some patrols here. If we get the Ace, Persistent Ace in, I'd like to have the Persistent Ace kind of hang out here a lot as well, as one of their stomping grounds when they're not doing anything else in the rest of the system. So probably have some elites here as well, just a bit more likely. Maybe nice as well, because then it provides you an area that you can fight elites that isn't the fucking Xenos base of the long-range weapons platforms, but also isn't the Alamosa field, which is going to have the LRM freighters. So this can be kind of like a combat area in that sense, where you can run into patrols. And there's going to be a Liberty Navy scout patrol I want to do. I'm planning for one that, like, probes through the edges of the Alamosa field, through here, through the edges of this field, and comes back around. Anyway, then we come over to the Alamosa field. The Alamosa field is the one we've been doing all our testing in lately. And this is the one where the LRM freighters, the Independences we've been fighting, are going to stay. For the Xenos. So the idea is that they are using this field to shoot long-range missiles out of converted freighters for combat into attempts to repair this jump gate over here. And they're also flinging them at whenever the Liberty frigate tries to get through this channel, essentially. So there'll probably want to be a couple around in this field too to keep the Liberty frigate away from their base. Probably some static platforms here too. But this will be like the main field that like the LRM freighters deploy from the unlawful base and kind of like hang about here and just harass and ward off any bigger ships and take targets opportunity like transports in the trade lanes and stuff as well. So this is like the zone that you're going to go to fight those frigates, and those frigates will have a big bounty on them, where if you take them down you can get paid a lot of credits. Ideally rep as well, that we're still working on that. Hello, Xenos spawn.
Incoming missile.
Nope, cruise disruptors are not balanced yet. You cannot stop me.
Incoming missile.
So probably have this be like a really good zone for Lawfuls to come and hunt when they're feeling pretty big for their boots. Maybe a bit less on the repop time, reinforcement time of the Xenos here, but more just bigger groups. Like I imagine the Independence Freighters that you fight here having like at least an escort of 6. Maybe you can like run into one that has like an escort of 4 rarely, but mainly like, you know, big wings. And the idea being that you come here with a friend, or you come here and you're very fucking good at your job, essentially. I cannot even imagine 1v6ing right now, 1v7ing, but I also have to remember that the idea of this mod is to have it scale with gear. So not everything has to be defeatable and soloable by me right now with this loadout, but you can also imagine like getting plus variants and lost tech and stuff like that. That'll be pretty rare in this system. I have a surprise for how to get lost tech better that I'm not going to talk about here at the moment. Whoa, shit. Everything I got to keep in mind is that even if you don't have player friends, you can follow, like I was saying before, the Navy. So if we have that Navy patrol that like probes through here, you could also do that. You know, we can put the encounters pretty high here, and we can say you're gonna meet a Navy patrol. You could even like see one coming out of the battleship and follow them here essentially. And as long as the Navy patrols are frequent enough, that'll even up the score where you can fly with these guys in a long-range patrol. It's not persistent in the way we've been testing it here, but one thing to keep in mind is the patrols like are flying around on a path. So if you leave a patrol from the battleship and you want to like stick with them to have an easier time of things, they're going to actually be like going like on a patrol path all around the system, and that could be quite interesting too, to encourage players to do this right now. That could be quite an encouraging behavior to, an interesting behavior to encourage players to do, where like you literally are doing circuits of the system with the Navy as a green player. Because you want to stick around with them. But if you're really good, then you can also go off and do your own thing, because following the NPCs is obviously going to be a bit slower when they like to fly around an impulse like this. Alright.
Engaging Xenos lab.
And then we're going to have like smugglers and stuff, and transports, local transports along here, but overall I think it's like a pretty good summary of what we want to do. Yeah, let me fight these guys, because fighting is fun. Oh man, what? Oh shit! Wait, I just shot a Navy? Oh fuck, the Navy hates me. I just shot a Navy. My missile just hit a Navy. Fuck. Now they hate me. Yeah, blue on blue. There's gonna be like a little bit more leeway for blue on blue there. That was totally unintentional. Leave me alone, Navy. Anyway. So, with all that said, where do we want to start with? Let's start doing some encounters that are just like what we just said. This is obviously the least complicated place to start. So probably we start in Cheyenne.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Planet Denver. Planetary docking cleared. Good luck out there.
I'll turn off one of my guns to simulate being like a newer player. I'll turn off a gun. Maybe I won't use my AC either. Nah, that's stupid. It's fine, just like estimate it in my mind. One thing we can't do right now really is we can't like... Hang on, someone ping me on Discord. One thing we can't really do right now is we can't really like... I think do too much modification of the UI. I think in the end we'll probably have to do like, you know, like how some mods have to do it, and like how, you know, like a game like, you know when you play a game like Tarkov, and it's like, none of, the devs didn't give you any of the information about the ways to play the game in the game really, and you have to like look up a wiki to like learn what you're meant to do a lot. Which obviously fucking sucks when you're making, you know, a game like that, and you could do better, but I think for us where we can't like really change the way UI tells you what to do as much, apart from like lore info prompts, maybe we'll end up having to have like a Discord or something that has like information of like, okay, you know, you're a new player, fly out to this field and farm bounties to get started with a mod. You like a getting started kind of guide of like figuring out how shit works. But then yeah, you'll fly out to here. Is the idea for new players to be able to do. You can come here, and we want to run into like small encounters here, like a wiki, actually, PG, like a Discord wiki. Small encounters here. I think I said one. You can meet ones here. So let's get started on that. Let's alt tab out and bring up the notepad and just save this for a second. Just leave one permutation here, sorry. Because that might break things. Okay. So I need to go to LI03, which is the system file for Colorado, as we've been doing lately. And I need to find this field. Now, they're actually names, so that makes it a lot easier. So we can go to Zone LI03 Cheyenne Field. Now, right now, this has no encounters. Oh, it was right above Alamo, so easy. Right now, this has no encounters in it, so I'm going to need to, like, copy over encounters. One thing I can also consider for making things easier is just like the player will get better loadouts, I could also make like a newer, like a lesser kind of loadout, like worse shields, worse guns, like how in Battletech you fight like they have less armor when you're new, or on like lower skill difficulties. Yeah, let me change my music up. So, for now I'm just going to stick to the numbers. I need to copy up from here. What do we need to copy? Shanefield has sort and music. So I should just need to like copy here. Everything from music below sort. Put that in there. I can take out this. We're going to have to layer multiple zones. We're going to put lawfuls here, which we will do in a second. Is it called Freelancer because it's free? I mean, it will be, yeah. It is. It's like shareware now. It's abandonware. They stopped selling it. Okay, faction is Xenos still. Beam testing counter. So we're going to want to make a new... I guess we may as well like start legitimately setting these things out. Like, yeah, fuck it. Start doing the actual mod. So I guess we're going to make a new encounter file for like Colorado Easy or like Xenos Scouts or something. I have this like, I don't know why I sound so like unprepared because I have like maps made of this. Where are my maps of this? Where did I put them? Yeah, like I've literally done up like a dozen maps like this of knowing what to do. This might even be the Xenos one actually. Is this the Xenos one? Let me see. This is Xenos Scouts, yeah. So the idea here, I don't know how to do patrols yet, so I'm not going to do patrols. But the idea here is, these are Xenos Scouts in Colorado, which is, you know, smaller, easier to fight wings. They're going to leave from, you can't see my mouse, I just realized. Fuck, I gotta show you my mouse, hang on. Why can you not see my mouse, I just realized. Interesting. Well, anyway, point is, on the west there, you're going to leave from where the teal lines converge on the west from the unlawful base. And those patrols fly through the fields, skirting around, and heading on their destination to... Well, they scout through the system, doing scouting runs for the Xenos. And then they're going to hang around in that Cheyenne field behind Denver. So I just want to be worried about setting up right now the purple field, as I have planned here, which will be where you meet these scouts. So we can call it like BMod... Encounter something. BMod Cheyenne Xenos Encounter or something. I can always rename it later. I don't have to be perfect right now. Actually, you go to the bathroom too, so I'll be right back. Hang on, one sec. Boop. One sec. Okay. So, let's make a new encounter out of our test encounter, and we're gonna make a real encounter that's intended to actually live here. I'm gonna put my GitHub Git app. You can't see this, but I'm just opening up some File Explorer right now. Okay, and we're gonna copy this and make bmod test encounter. We're gonna change this to bmod. I wonder if it's like really bloated to have an encounter file for each area. Probably. Bmod Xenos Scouts area _1.ini. Let's open that up. So now we can clear out a lot of this shit and start fresh, basically. I don't think I'm gonna fling any heavy fighters at Lawfuls here in the Cheyenne field, so we'll get rid of that. I don't think the Xenos will be sending out heavy fighters on scouting duties. Light fighters and medium fighters are the most likely here. We don't want to like overcrowd of light fighters probably, because they'll probably be like really frustrating for newer players to fight because they're so agile. So, you know, like thematically, probably the Xenos would send more light fighters, but you know, for scouting. But we'll probably have a bit less of a ratio of light fighters just because, yeah, that would be annoying. Though also the Xenos are like underfunded, so you can hand wave it any way you want. Sammy says, just had a moment in Gamma where me and a bunch of loners ran into a shed to hide from an emission, so we're like 70% of the way through it, a squad of military also came sprinting in trying to hide, and the most chaotic shit I ever occurred. That sounds awesome, Sammy. I really want to play some Gamma. I got that mod working, Sammy, that Curse of Immortality respawn mod. I had to like do a little bit of like compatibility fixing with its files. But it's so cool. Like, I went and tested it, and yeah, like, I lost the fight against bandits, and you respawn, and I kept what was in my secure container, and then you lose the rest, so, like, you set up stashes back where you sleep, Sammy, and you respawn where you last slept, so, I set up, like, a backpack stash next to my bed, and started a bit more guns, like, I edited the starting loadouts. So then it's, like, more like Tarkov, like, you die, but then, like, you go, alright, well, I've saved the Makarov. You know, I've got a Makarov now as my backup here, or I've got a SKS as a backup. It's really cool, I really like it. Can you go and loot your dead body? It's an option, but I have it turned off. Though currently, what you can do is, AI stalkers will steal your shit. Though they can fuck up the condition of your gun, but they'll, like, steal your stuff. And there's even an option you can turn on for that mod, where it, like, will tell you on PDA who stole your shit and snitch on them, and you can go hunt them down. But I like it, yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been meaning to play some more Gamma on the stream at some point, but I got too much stuff to do with Freelancer right now. Today. Maybe tomorrow. But then we don't get to play as much XCOM. Rhineland Colonel Ulrich says, hello, greetings from Ukraine. Greetings, Rhineland Colonel Ulrich. You have come to the right stream. If you're a Rhineland Colonel, welcome. Though we're not doing Rhineland systems right now. No D&D, no D&D's done now. Anyway, I talk too much and work too little when I'm with you guys, so I gotta get to it. Check out the fucking Independence Freighter, we don't need that here. Just go back to, like... Go back to Monkey, go back to basics. Bmod Xenos area, Scouts area. We need to change this in LAO3. So, change this to Bmod Xenos Scouts area 1. Go up to the top, and we need to call this Bmod area... No. Bmod Xenos Scouts... Yeah, that. Boom. And then tip me back down to Cheyenne. No. Yes? Yes. Cheyenne, yeah. There it is. Now back to the encounter. Yeah, no, it was a limited run, but yeah. Well, I was feeling it out, but in the end, I didn't keep going with it, because, like, also, I was just so busy. I was so busy, it was hard to keep up with. Alright, so now we've done that, get rid of all these extra perms. So I've been doing before it in a different way, but today what I'm probably going to use more and experiment with and see how it works is this thing. So we can We don't have to have a different permutation for every different number we want, because what we can do here is... we can go, like, don't spawn 2 out of 2, like, have a range right here. So this permutation that will get called due to these weights, so currently it's equal, weight 1, weight 1. 1% each, basically, which is always like the 50-50 because it's relative. What we can do is we can go... okay, spawn 1 to 3 SC fighters instead, medium fighters. That's a bit much, so remember we want it to be... We don't want 3 to be common in this field, we want it to be 1 to 2 more commonly. So we'll say 1 to 2 medium fighters spawns off of this permutation. And then we can make another one that can spawn 3, but it's like a rarer permutation, you know? So this is 1 to 2 medium fighters. And we're gonna... Can we limit overall ships? I don't think so. So then we're gonna do 1 to 2 light fighters, or 1 to 2 MF and LF. Okay, so this will be, that's light fighters there, make class Wanderer. Okay. So this means medium fighter, this means light fighter. So we'll go, 1 MF and 1 LF. Then we're gonna want another one that's just light fighters. That sounds kind of that sounds kind of toxic to make new players fight again for the reasons we said before. Maybe, I don't know. We can make it rarer. We can make it rarer. You gotta learn how to fight light fighters at some point, Jimmy. This is the place to do it. There will be Navy to assist them. I don't have to. Maybe I don't have to worry about babying them so much. It's just that, like, I remember Hell Balance. Back when we, like, in 2020 when I first started making this mod, and it was very different back then, but also we invited, like, all the stream viewers to come on and play with us. We got, like, 20 people. And it was retroactively deemed Hell Balance because I was able to fight in it because I was used to it. But I got a reality check because, like, there were so many players just fucking dying over and over, and death messages were, like, global. So you would just see, like, player died, player died, player died. I was like, oh shit, I went too far in a few places. So I'm like maybe overcorrecting everywhere now. I'm like, okay, let's just make sure this is, like, a really safe place to learn. You know, like... Let's not have a repeat of that, like the first player experience just being like, you died necessarily. That we can rev up into that for sure. And it's like balancing that, but also like not having it be too easy in a snore fest, especially because it's your player's first experience is like or likely first experience is the challenge here. So 1 MF and 1 LF. Sure, we'll do 2 LFs as well. 1 to 2 light fighters. Sure. So get rid of the medium fighters and go 1 to 2 light fighters. Perm 3. So now we're spawning, we have 3 different encounters already. 1 to 2 medium fighters, 1 to 2 light fighters, 1 medium fighter, and 1 light fighter. Whatever variations do we want here? We want 3, but I'll get to that in a second. Is there anything else we want with 2? Or 1 to 2? That really covers it, like, without putting VHFs in here, that's like all the combinations we need, I think, right? Of, Xenos here. So now we go up to the, 3s, so we can go like this, too, for good commenting. We can go permutations of 1 to 2 enemies per spawn. Now we can come down here, we can separate that, we can go permutations of 1 to 3 enemies per spawn. If it's gonna be rare, may as well make it 2 to 3, I guess. Or, leave it at that for now. Okay, so this is gonna be like, you can have up to 3 medium fighters. 1 to 3 medium fighters. This is going to be permutation 4. What's this one going to be? This one will be... Will I make them fight 1 to 3 light fighters? Came to the wrong fucking neighborhood. Sure, 1 to 3 light fighters as well. We'll just do it like this. So this should be the combo then. This should be... How do you combo this while keeping the numbers fairly capped? 1 to 2 medium fighters and 1 LF, maybe. 1 to 2 medium fighters... And who the fuck uses ampersands? This isn't Command and Conquer. And 1 LF. Fuck ampersands. We hate those. 1 or 2 mediums, 1 light fighter. Perm 5 is going to be toxic. It's going to be 1 to 3 light fighters. I mean, they're easier to kill, you know. They are easier to shoot. But when I make their pilots toxic, it's going to be nasty. So that's 1 to 3 light fighters. And I guess we could do the other way. We could do 2 light fighters and 1 MF. And that way caps it. There's probably like an easier way to cap this, but I don't know it. So this is what I'm doing right now. So this will be... Whoops, not like that. Copy this one. Perm 6. 1 medium fighter. And 1 to 2 light fighters. Okay, and that's like a pretty good set of encounters already, I think. That is a good bunch of different encounters you can run into. So now I just need to put in perm weights for all of them. And I have 7, because 0, it starts at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Set which permutation they are assigned to down here. And now all I need to do for this to work should be to set their weights. So how often do we want these things to spawn? Let's just note them down here. Whoops, that's my gamma stuff again that I was editing. So I'm just gonna steal this. Just close these off. Oh, that fucks it, never mind. Boom. Alright. So now we can see all of our permutations nice and neat here. This should be one of the most common ones, I think. Let's start these all off at like a base of 10 relative to each other, so then it's easier to go up and down, you know? Maybe. Or we could all add it up to 100, I guess. Like, what, that's 6? Whatever, just leave it at 10. So... I want to make the light fighters exist, but a bit less common. Like, probably make the medium fighters more common. So definitely this one that's like 2 light fighters, like light fighters only. Probably make that like 6 compared to the others. 1 medium fighter, 1 light fighter. Let's make that 8. Permutation 3, 1 to 3. This should be way less because this is like 1 to 3 possibility. Keep in mind that because this can spawn 1, 2, 3, it's just not capped at 2. It doesn't have to be too low because a lot of the times when you roll this statistically, it will just roll 1 to 2 fighters anyway. So you could probably put that at like 6 as well and get away with it. If I understand how this works for it anyway. You could probably like mirror a lot of shit here. You could probably like put this at like... yeah, 6, because we don't want it to be very common at all. That's fine. 1 MS plus 1 LF would be a very nasty combo. You can put that at 4. 1 to 3 LFs. You're looking like the relative here too, but it should be fine. I want 1 to 3 LFs in general. Just put that down to like 3. That sounds so toxic for a new player. And 1 MF plus 1 to 2 LFs. Set that to like... let's go like 4, 2. Let's combine these. So 18, 24, weight. And then this is 10, 16. And considering a lot of the time, that should be fine. Okay. So this should work. I'd like to now jump in and do a few runs of this and see if it works. So we have to quit the game. We're gonna have to test things a bit slower to see how these spawns work for in reality. Because, hang on, I gotta save some stuff I think I left open. No, it's all saved. Because the way we've been testing things is like, we quick load and it like just spams encounters at us. That's not how it works in reality with this game. Like, it's gonna instantly give us like 5 here. Because that's the max that can spawn here. So obviously this is like terrible for a new player immediately. That's because the density of the field, right? 3. Too many, right? Too many. Alright. So what I want to do instead is like leave the field and then fly into it naturally and see what the actual behavior is like. We gotta make sure we're not, like, in a load point where we're gonna have encounters happen. This seems to be far enough out, we're not doing encounters. So now let's fly through the zone. Doo-dee-doo. This is my first time playing the mod, and see what actually spawns in us. And when. If we look at the... we can kind of estimate here. If we look at the encounter now, go back to the asteroid field we're in. Repop time is 120, so does that mean it's going to take up to 2 minutes on average for you to come in? Release time is 15. I gotta look up what this stuff all means again. Density we can set lower to have less spawns at once. But I think that's fine for now, because remember we're going to have Navy in here too, and other players could be here at the same time. As long as you are not running into like 3 enemies at once in a single spawn wave consistently, it's probably okay. So let's fly around and see what happens. Time it. We're at... I'm running an easy timer right now. But it's 12:17 on my clock right now. So by 12:19, if we haven't seen a spawn, we know that shit's fucked. This is what I mean by it. It'd be a little bit longer to test this out than our save load spawn fight we've been doing for combat testing. So I can just lower the spawn time too for now. But it's good to like get a feel for how it actually feel. It's at least 30 now, yeah. God, I love flying in this game. It's such like an intuitive arcadey like way to control in this game, but it feels so good. I've played like a lot of flight games, arcadey or sim, and you do really have to hand it to the way that Freelancer never makes you like pick up your mouse and track it on the mouse pad. Thank you for counting PG. Because of the way it just like lets you do like it's like a virtual joystick, like the control is consistent. I love that. Alright, and there's a spawn. Alright, let's fight him.
Missile.
And then let's see what else shows up while we're fighting them. Ow, 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 ow! Yeah, I'm gonna wanna make the light fighters way rarer because they're gonna be super annoying to fight for new players and medium fighters.
Shield restored.
But they're on the flip side, they're also good to fight if you're in a light fighter and you want an enemy your size.
Ready. I see my target.
These two are giving me like a good little run for my money, huh? Now you're gonna be in trouble.
Incoming missile.
Sammy says, do you have the wrong guns for fighting them? It seems like you would want faster firing guns for faster enemies. Yes! So you can get more shots on them, but then you can make the opposite argument of like, it's easier to snapshot them. It's the age-old FPS discussion of tracking aim versus snapshot aim, flick aim. I generally like slow-firing guns for 1v manying in this because it lets you dodge and shoot as well. But it's definitely a fair thing. And that kind of question is exactly what I want to have people asking in the mod. I want to have that kind of gameplay of trying to perfect your loadout. Nobody else has respawned on me yet, which is good. We don't want respawns to be very often in here. Dodged. Alright. So it's good to have them not spawn too much, but we also don't want them to spawn too slow because then you have nothing to do, and it's a walking simulator. So right now I think the pop-in spawn time might want to be a bit quicker. See how long it takes me to get another encounter here, basically. There's also things to consider, like density restrictions, where it won't spawn more enemies at once, depending on some values you've done. Like, it'll have, like, a cap for the area. I don't know how that interacts with multiple players. Like, I don't know if that's just for, like, your local area, or if it's, like, the whole zone. Like, if you're fighting 2 here, and the cap is 2, will it not spawn anyone for anyone else? I don't know. I gotta figure that out. Because obviously then you want to set your numbers differently. But yeah, I mean, the AI can really surprise you in this, that's the thing. Like, I also say, like, I'm used to the AI, so 1 to 2 enemies isn't much of a challenge for me. But that's not really true, because even 1v1, and especially 1v2, but even 1v1, if you let your guard down on this, they can fuck you up. You're not God just because you're generally more experienced with this mod, which is good. Like, they do damage, their guns do damage. So I gotta, you know, I think, like, lowballing it for the difficulty here is a very good idea. Falcon and Hawk again. I'd shave like 30 to 60 seconds off the pop-in time here, I think, for them. But it's not so bad if it's like the average. It's not terrible. It's not egregious. Oh god. I gotta get the Hawk first. These light fighters stay on you and they just stick like glue. Oh, I just gave my ass to the other one. Ah!
Shield failed. Impact missile.
Bandit in my sights.
Everything to keep in mind. What? Like, I'm getting fucked up. Oh shit, they're gonna kill me! I'm flying like an idiot. I'm not dodging while my shield's down, taking missiles and stuff. Oh, I gotta be more afraid. I gotta dodge more. I haven't seen a 1 spawn yet either. It's been this encounter twice. I think my game sounds a little high today. I think it was down for a reason before.
I have an enemy target in my sights.
Tricky little fuckers, these lights. Die. Ooh, and there's the respawn. So that makes me think I don't want to set the... That's a 3-pod too. It makes me think I don't want to set it down much lower. These guys will definitely kill me. Because one thing that's happening too is that the respawn timer can tick and then just roll nothing based on the chance of the encounter actually spawning in the first place. No! Alright, so way too dangerous. Way too dangerous for our new players still. We need to change these numbers. So straight up, the light fighters are already spawning just way too often. We need to turn that down. So I'd even let's just up the medium fighter spawns to 20 weight, just way more often. Make these way less. That's already gonna be a hard one, so that's fine, but Yeah, okay. Just make it like 30. Just overcorrect, and then if you never get the others, then you know to tune it back down. Because right now that's 30, and then the rest altogether adds up to like probably the same. So it's like 50-50. It can be hard when you're working with percentages like this. Like I gotta keep like a percentage-based mindset here. So that's done. That hopefully helps. Just less overall. This should be spawning like. This should be able to spawn just one. So we'll see. I want to see some one spawns. And in general, probably make these higher too. Let's go to like 40 on this. 16 on this. That can stay low. Like 8. 9 even. And then the rest are really rare. Now go back to the area field thing. What have we got here? I've got to look up what this means. Hang on. Eric's made a wiki for me, and it's time to use it. Where is the link for that wiki? I think it's in my PMs. Hang on. Where is that goddamn link? Why didn't I open it? Fuck. Now I can't find it. I need it. I think if I just Control F. TSP Wiki. Maybe I can just Google it? Hang on. Before searching, we need to index this server. Give us a bit. How dare you? TSP Wiki. I think it's the Starport Wiki. The TSP Wiki modding database. You can't see this right now. Sorry, guys. This is not it. Sorry, just give me a second while I try to find this. I need this thing now. Discord is gaslighting me right now. Ah, I think I found it. This is for FL Hook. Oh, here we are. I think I found it. Hey, Dibby, how you doing? Devish says, so in Vanilla Freelancer, when you reach late game, you have to use one of the 3 heavy fighters. Will this one at some point make light, medium fighters more viable in the late game? Yeah, buddy, I just got fucking killed by some. Yeah, it's what we were doing. Yes, that's the thing. We're flattening that. It's not just like, just get very heavy fighters. Very heavy fighters exist in this, but they're like assault fighters that are slower, but more heavily armored and armed. Light fighters are nimble and agile. But have less firepower and sort of survivability, and heavy fighters are the mainstay there in the middle. Yeah, no, we're making a bunch of different playstyles for everyone, including combat freighters, and eventually, you know, if we get that far, cats maybe. But you know, for now, combat freighters are also a plan to be a thing that are like a viable thing to do, and a different playstyle. And right now, what you can see on the screen is me actually like. You weren't here a second ago, but I was just saying how I'm trying to tone down the number of light fighters spawning for this new player area, because light fighters are too fucking annoying to fight against when you're new. They get on your ass too much. They're too scary. Sorry, but I'm just being quiet right now because I'm just looking up this wiki. Wiki the Starports. Starport Knowledge Base. INI editing. Here's what I want. INI editing. Typed INIs. Just gotta find what I wanted to hear. Okay, I've got encounters.ini. Goods, groups, HUD, iGraph, intro, jump effect, loadouts, markets. Defines properties of individual nebula fields. That might be what I want. Rooms, slider. Oh, system, this is probably what I want. Let's see. Dervish says, kind of didn't like learning that you had to choose one of three every very heavy fighters to just not reach endgame. Exactly, Dervish, yeah. And vanilla Freelancer is done like that very much too. Like, it's like, everything is leveled. So, like, at the start of the game, you're level 1, at the end of the game, you're level 40. So then the only, like, weapons and ships that count are, like, the ones that are, like, high level. We don't do leveling at all in this, really. Like, I guess we do want to do, like, the progression we want to do is, like, gear, like, to an extent, like, you know, you get, like, a plus version of your gun and it's, like, slightly better. But we want that to be, like, rare stuff you get and, like, have fun collecting, like BattleTech, more than leveling. Like, we don't want to make anything obsolete. It shouldn't be like, oh, like, this thing is just obsolete because it's lower level, and it just is no good. It's like a completely irrelevant ballpark compared to other shit, you know? I wanted to hit, like, that balance more like BattleTech does it, where, like, oh, yeah, like, it's definitely an advantage. Like, oh, you're fighting a guy who's got, like, double heat sinks in BattleTech. Oh, shit, like, that's scary. Oh, he's got an ER PPC and you've got a normal PPC. Okay, his PPC is better. But I don't want it to be like, but your PPC is just, like, obsolete low-level garbage in comparison, you know what I mean? Like, it's a hard thing to strike, but you want to have the cake and eat it, too, of everything should be, like, still viable. And you don't want to, like, obsolete people just because they didn't grind enough. But you also want to have, like, that fun of, like, oh, I got the rare thing. Cool, this is, like, an improvement. Number go up. And that's tough to do together, but I think possible. Games like BattleTech do it well, I think. Well, games like Tarkov do it really well because, like, it's economical as well, like, based on economy. Hang on, someone DM me. Oh, yeah, jam. Like, in Tarkov, you don't take the best stuff out, you take what you can afford to lose, but we aren't doing that yet, because that would be super toxic right now. Maybe in the future you can do, like, you lose your gear in, like, certain zones, but not newbie zones, but for now we're not doing that. That's a future thing, if anything, of losing your gear when you die. We're not doing that. So I'm just looking at some stuff you can't see. Type Diony's encounters. Just learning about this. I guess I could throw this into my... I guess you guys could read this with me, because I'm going to be reading this for a second, so I don't want to bore you. Let me throw this into my browser you guys can see. And that'll be a bit less boring. Oh, they haven't put anything in the system. Shit. Well, I can't learn much anyway, then. From this, so never mind. PG says, if you want to do losing gear, do it in, if I'm to use an Eve term, a minus zone on a plus zone if you know Eve at all, Beagle. I don't know Eve at all, but is that like what I just said, basically, of like, you have like, some zones you don't lose gear and some you do, basically? Because yeah, like, that should be opt-in, for sure. Like, you know, we're not doing like, Escape from Tarkov, like, eat shit newbie here, like... Yeah, like, none of the easier. Exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think if we ever did it, it would be something you'd experiment with, like, in the far-flung raid sectors. You'd be like, oh, if you lose shit here, you can actually, like, lose it for real. But, you wouldn't want to do that in every sector. That'd just be so tiring in a game like this. You can't, like, you know... The reason that works in a game like Tarkov decently is because in Tarkov, even if you just have a normal pistol, you can, like, shoot a dude in the face and he'll die in one shot. You can't do that in a game like Freelancer, really. It would not be good, so... You can't just do the same thing. Exactly, PG, yeah. High security, lots of cops, yeah. Anyway. Just reading now. Here, you can read this with me. I'm just reading some information about this encounters file we're dealing with right now. Seeing if I can learn anything new. Ship by class. This parameter references a class is defined in shipclasses.ini, then a minimum and maximum number of ships to spawn. Yep. Pilot job determines pilot behavior as specified by a job block in pilot's population. I don't fuck with this yet, but I should learn what it does. Make class overrides the class tag from ship classes on the spawn ships just before creation. This can be used in conjunction with a zone's density restriction to limit what's able to spawn under certain conditions. Really? What does that mean? Overrides the class tag from ship classes on the spawn ships just before creation. Zone's density restriction to limit? How? I need an example. Make class wanderer. Well, I don't know what the fuck make class means, so doesn't mean much to me yet. Formation by class. Determines the formation your cannons will use. You can design your cannons to spawn more ships, but those ships will spawn but can't form or will not move until attacked. Oh. Formation capacity limits the number of ships that the cannons should spawn. Okay. Well, now if that bug happens, we know what's happening. Behavior determines the behavior of ships in formation. These values need to be hard-coded, and options are wander, trade, and patrol path. For detailed information on these, please see the behavior heading below this table. Wander. Ships will fly in a random pattern. Yeah, exactly, Dervish, yeah. Ships will fly in a random pattern at normal speed through the zone. They will disappear when leaving range only, and will not dock or use jump gates or jump holes. This behavior can be used in path zones, but will produce undesirable behavior. Pilots will fly random patterns for the boundary of the path zone. Trade. Spawn near a base jump gate, jump hole, or trade lane. They will make use of these if certain conditions are met. If a player undocks, they may find this encounter already present. All ships leaving the station will have populated cargo hulls using commodities. That's cute, but not what we need right now, but we'll need that later for smugglers and transports. Trade path zones. Assumingly the same. Patrol path zones. This should not be used in the area zone. Patrol finish their current legs and attempt the dock of a nearby object. Mutation. While multiple encounter formation blocks are defined, it is possible to use the creation block to wait which encounter spawns. The first value is the ID, starting at 0 in order it's been defined. The second value is the waiting. Yeah, I already know that. Okay, so not learning anything super new. There are some new things, I guess. But nothing I want to know for LIO3 here. Okay, because this isn't in the wiki yet. We gotta add it ourselves. Kind of the fun of modding freelancers sometimes is you feel like you're on a frontier. Like, a lot of this shit, like, some people know, but it's not like in a public wiki or anything, and you gotta like find the knowledge. Density 3. What happens if I turn this down? Repop time 120. Where is the weight of anything happening at all? I need to get into Silverton because I commented this. I learned about this, is what I'm talking about now. I learned about this and I commented it so I wouldn't forget. Should be in here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Comments. Call the encounters from mission encounters followed by file name, then the level of NPCs to pull from. Yep. Level 3, okay. Then the weight out of a total 100 for the zone that this particular encounter spawns versus the others or nothing. Huh. For every repop time interval. Out of 100? So this must be... So either it isn't against nothing, or 1 counts as 100 and you can go like 0.5. Because that's 1 and that's consistently spawning. It's, sorry, how long is it? Repop time interval, which is 2 minutes. So, I'm gonna say if we can put this down to 0.5 and see if nothing happens, maybe? So this is, yeah, this is level of the enemies, whatever, and then we're not really using this right now, and this is the chance of it spawning. I could just make like an encounter that has like nothing in it, I guess. Like encounter bmod nothing. I wonder if that would be like a way to like brute force make nothing happen if this doesn't work. Okay, well we'll see. Let's go back to Silverton now, which is where we're working with. I mean Cheyenne, sorry. And we want to change this to 0.5. Well, yeah. And then turn the repop time down to... half the time nothing happens is the intention here. So if you turn the repop time down to 60, and most of the time you're only fighting a single... That's what we should do here in this area. We should make it like, a lot of the time you're only fighting like a single enemy. Every 60 seconds, it checks again to spawn something on you. Like every minute or so. And... We'll make it so you can't time it so easy, because I don't know if this is random. We'll make it 69. It'd be nice if you could make repop time like a random range. But I guess to do that, you'd have to like just make the percentages different down here, which isn't as good. Anyway, can't be one of the Xenos Scouts area 0.5. So if it can take decimals, that's what we want to know here. Can it take decimals? Let's save that and then restart and see if this still works. Because what we're learning here is basically what we're going to apply to all the other encounters now that we're doing them properly and not just doing test fighting. So within 60 seconds, there should be a 50% chance for an encounter to spawn. That's what we're looking for here. I'm kind of tempted to make it more like every 30 seconds it checks, but make the chance of something happening even lower, but then that might be like really random results. Like, it's less reliable. But maybe that's a good thing. Okay, there you go. And we've got a single... It's a fucking hawk, but there's a single. Good. Come here, single hawk. That felt like it was quicker than 60 seconds, too. Fucking see ya. So they're dead. Keep flying. Just another day patrolling the Cheyenne asteroid field. Sorry, little hawk. Never mind. So that's quite quick. It's spawning the Xenos Falcon now, but it is spawning singles, which is good. Singles are gonna be much easier to deal with if you got nobody on your tail till you're facing them, so it's a lot easier to like manage how much damage you're taking because there's like no one getting on your butt to cover them. It's a true 1v1. Though the AI can shoot pretty far to their sides. It's kind of like their little advantage because they don't use a mouse and keyboard like we do. It kind of offsets things like how they don't know how to fucking fire missiles. What are you doing, silly AI? But like, this is, you know, this is a good encounter. If you're new to the game and you're learning the ropes, this is probably like a good kind of encounter to run into. To learn how to fight, learn how to use your autocannon, learn how to fire missiles. This is good that this is spawning now, this is good. And maybe if I hadn't killed that light fighter quick enough, maybe this guy would have shown up too, and that's nasty. But you can see, like, now nothing else is spawning on me, which is good. Huh. It was going for the target, but then when the target died, it decided to go for the next best target, which is a flare. That's interesting. I wonder if missiles are actually modeled in that way, where, like, if you lose one target, it might go on to another. Maybe that's how the missile hit that Navy defender. Interesting. Anyway, keep flying around. I get the feeling like the decimal thing is working because, yeah, like now something spawns, but it wasn't spawning for ages there. The light fighters still spawn really often here. See ya. Light fighters do die really easy when you get hits on them though. But I know how to like take advantage of an opportunity and jump straight to like killing a motherfucker. When you're newer, it's gonna take you way longer to like learn to get those killing blows. It's like when you're like a cute little like lion cub, and like the mama lion like has to teach you how to hunt through play. So like, whoa, like look at that. Like now we've got 2 falcons coming in now. This is about to get very deadly. We should start putting in the Navy escorts to even up this balance, because they're going to be in here too. Oh fuck, because now this is dangerous. 1v3 is very dangerous. This is a intermediate and advanced encounter. Like, I'm getting fucked up, because I'm being greedy and not dodging enough too. One thing I do a lot, you'll see me do a lot, is I get really greedy, where like, I need to be dodging because my shield's down, but I'm like, but so is theirs! I gotta shoot them, you know? And in some cases that's pure greed, in some cases it's me like trying to like be aggressive and take out the numbers advantage before they fucking destroy me. Like it's happening right here, like get the fuck off my ass, fuck you. Like I probably gotta, whoa, dodge now, or I'm gonna fucking die. But like I can't resist taking these shots, you know, because I gotta get rid of the numbers advantage or I'm just gonna die. I can't last forever, you know, it's a ticking clock. And I know if I can just get this guy down, he's done. And now I can take the 1v2 much easier. Yeah, this is like the Dark Souls engagement for the newbie area. You don't wanna have this happen. This is like the boss fight. This wants to be very rare. Probably gonna have to up the medium fighters encounter even more, percentage-wise. Because you're gonna die like 9 times out of 10 as a new player against a fight like that. I fucking still die against it, and I have like months of practice. So, you know, maybe I also just suck, but you know, most players are probably not gonna be able to handle it. I'm fucking dying still, and it's 1v2. Never mind the amount of time it takes to deal with as well. I'm gonna not be cocky here. I haven't got enough hull to be cocky. Don't let the shield go down! Dodge! Just dodge, just run for a second. Get some distance.
Target in range. Locking in on enemy.
Well, we don't have to worry about it being too easy. Time to flip around on him.
Shield restored.
Fuck, missile right to the dome, and I did a big dogfighting error there of just turning my butt into the gun of the enemy, which is very silly. I should not do that. But now, if I can... Ah, get the fuck off me. Get that one, now it's 1v1. A mine would be good to have. I have mines, they're just not really working very well right now. So I kind of forget to use them a lot. Got it. The overall frequency of the spawn seems to be pretty good, I think. Like, it's nice and random. Like, we've flown along and nothing's happened for a bit, and then, you know, we ran into an encounter, killed them, flew along, ran into an encounter, flew along, and then, okay, shit, then we had an encounter, and then another encounter stacked on top of it. And that was pretty scary. PG Chip says, this run's interesting than Bex. I only have 2 meds and already got myself a Marauder. How do you get a Marauder? There's a number 2. So it seems like the 2 medium fighters is definitely much more frequent now, which is good. I think it's time to try and layer in the Navy spawns as well now. Because remember that when there's more than one, like, when we were doing it over in the Furball fights yesterday, remember that layering the 2 different types of encounters seem to be fucking up the maxes as well. So we should start doing that early. I'm not gonna fight these guys, because that's just... It's tempting to just keep playing the game, but I should be working on it more than I'm dogfighting. It's fun though, it's fun. Anyway, I've got too much work to have fun all the time. So I want to layer this now. I want to do another zone, which I should be able to copy from Alamosa, and I want to put Navy in here. Nickname Alamosa Field. So you can see here we have an example of having 2 fields at once. It's just copied the position exactly. Size, sort... everything, okay. So you just copy all of those values down to toughness. But not sort? Sort has to be different, I think. Does sort have to be unique in here? I only see 1. So sort probably has to be unique, I would guess. Interesting. I don't know what the fuck it means, but this one is like 1 down. Urk is the one who knows how this works better. You got 1 part, salvage 3. 1 part salvage 3 bullet. Nice. That's a lot of money, PG. How the fuck did you afford that? It's like 2 million. I guess it's not too bad. Density restriction 12 lawfuls. We're gonna ignore that for the minute. But okay, no, do copy this. So we'll go up to the field we're just working in, which is Cheyenne. Alamosa ambience, whatever. Okay. And we're going to call it Cheyenne 2. Cheyenne Field 2. We're going to copy the position. If you read before 700k, 1v1 duel... Oh, yeah, I read that. Yeah, fair enough. We're going to copy position, all of this shit. From the other field, and it'll just layer the same field. Sort 25. So is there a sort 24? No, so... I don't know what I'm doing here, but we're just going to call it Sword 24, and hopefully that works. And then we're going to copy this shit as well. No, we're not. Hang on. We're going to take this more cleverly. So we don't want to have, like, Navy flooding the area. Because, again, if there's always Navy, there's nothing for you to do. They just play the game for you. But we do want to have them fairly often. We can probably get away with having them be on, like, a 2-minute timer of when they can spawn. Or is that too long? Maybe like a 99-second timer on when it checks for Navy. Max battle size is huge. Kept that from the other ones. Relief time 15. That is just for patrolling. I think it doesn't matter for us right now. Density restriction 6 lawfuls. Encounter is going to be... We're going to call it BMod Navy. BMod LN Liberty Navy. Scouts? No, this is a cap, right? Let me check my maps. We'll find out what I decided for this, and we can fuck with it as we go. So I had it that Liberty Navy would be doing, these would be their scouts throughout the system, patrol routes basically. This isn't going to be really perfect today because I have to get Urk to help me do patrols. I don't really know how to do patrols without shit breaking right now. I guess I could try looking one up, but no, I'm going to get Urk to help me lay out actual patrols rather than areas. But that was the idea for Liberty Scouts. So you'd have like a scout wing patrolling through here, a lighter wing, we can keep that in mind. What else did I have? Then I had Liberty Navy combat air patrols. And I wasn't planning for any of them within the field itself, though in the edge and around Denver. That's something to keep in mind, is that if there's regular Liberty Navy combat air patrols, combat airspace patrols, because I like to keep the acronym the same, I'm lazy, around planet Denver, and it skirts the edge of the zone, then it actually provides a nice way to do this. So rather than just having it be like, oh, the Liberty Navy patrols are always running into you and stealing all your thunder, you can have it be instead like, you know, there's a green zone. So like, you know, you just gotta like run back to the edge of the field towards Denver, and then you'll start getting the Liberty Navy helping you know what I mean? So maybe we'll make that field too. I don't really know how to make that something, though I need Urk's help to set up FL Studio and stuff. So today we'll probably just do the probing sortie guys, and we'll just imagine that there's like a green zone towards Denver where if you run towards it, you can kind of get the safety. As we pretend to be like a new player. Whatever Liberty Navy stuff that I have planned. That's the frigate patrol. Logi freighters, and this was going to be the Ace if we can get them in. So the Ace will rarely show up in Cheyenne as well, but they're persistent, so they can't be everywhere at once. For now, we can just think of doing Liberty Scouts here. So, BMod, Liberty Navy, Scouts. We'll call it area for now, though I'm probably going to turn this to patrol later. And this is every 99 seconds, so we'll have this be like a 0.5 as well, of whether or not they show up. Because that seems... I feel like that decimal shit is working. That seems to be working. And then I'm going to set up some Patriots, but first of all, I'll just do small wings. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy another encounter again. We're going to go BMod. These are our scouts. We're going to copy this. And we're going to make what we just made. BMod LN Scouts Area 1. Open up in Notepad++. And this is the same but in reverse, basically, for the Liberty Navy. But we can afford to have their scouts be a bit more gussied up, a bit bigger. Especially because, like, they're a military, and I want to represent that. Oh my god, my kitten's in my chair next to me, and she's so cute. Hang on, I gotta take a picture. She's hugging herself, she's so cute. On my fucked up chair. Oh my god, so cute. Jesus Christ. Sorry, anyway. So, I want to, like, probably have them roll out in, like, hardier wings. Though, I gotta keep in mind for gameplay purposes, if the wings are too good, you can just follow them around, and that's maybe too easy for you. I guess you could make it so, like NPCs tractor loot, so maybe if you, like, can make them track their loot instantly, then there's a reason not to follow them around because they steal all the loot and you don't get it because they're claiming the bounties and you don't get that now. Thoughts. But for now, let's just go, okay. 1 to 2 medium fighters, 1 MF, 1 LF. I think it's fine to do like pilot and wingman sorties for the Navy through here for now. That seems fine. We won't worry about... We're going to turn off the LFs for the moment because I haven't balanced the Patriots yet. I'll do that in a second, okay? But for now, just turn off anything that has an LF in it. Weight 0. Okay. I think the rest can stay the same for the moment, except I'm not going to make it 1 to 2 of the Navy. I'm going to make it just 2. 2. 2 MFs. 2 to 3 MFs. They don't leave the base without... They don't go alone in the Liberty Navy. They always have a wingman. Is what we're going to do here. Did I do that right? I think I did that wrong. Hang on. Yeah, I did that wrong. I did the wrong one. Anyway, always a wingman up here. And then the other perm I have on is perm 3. Always have a wingman. So that can go 2 to 3. Wait a minute. No, this is 2-2. And this one is 2 to 3. Perfect. Apart from that, they should already be using the correct loadouts. So then we just have to see if this is working. Now we go back to LiO3. We compare here, density 3, max battle size 30, density restriction 6 lawfuls, density restriction 6 unlawfuls. Okay, and then I guess we're just gonna fly and see what it's like now with that setup. And the intention is that we should be seeing intermittent Navy patrols through here as well. I think, did I also want to change? No, I think that's fine. It can be dangerous, that's fine. You can teach new players to run away, it's fine. We'll go back. I was gonna be like, man, you know, should I tune down the repop time so you don't get dogpiled like I did? You also gotta teach new players to run away, right? As long as they can safely run away and it's not hard to do, we can teach them to pick their battles. And it makes it easier. Oop, I just crashed the game. Because, what did I not do? I did not define the new encounter. Learning with Beagle. We have to go up to the top. Silly Beagle needs to define the encounter right here. Encounter Parmesan. The game will immediately crash if you don't do this. Discretion and cowardice are always valid, says Incredon. Yes, I appreciate your candor with that, Incredon. You are correct. Also, if we try to balance everything perfectly so that new players are never threatened, then you're gonna run into the problem of like making things probably too formulaic and easy. And that's hard to balance. Anyway. There has to be a certain acceptance, I think, that in the way that this game's encounters randomly spawn and work, that you have to accept a certain amount of, like, shit can just be rough, you know? Like, shit will happen. You got a bit more of a simulation in that sense, I think. It's fine. As long as you give players the option to get away, it's exciting and fun. Sammy says, Beagle Oney, edit this stuff in dark theme. Your eyes are gonna kill you staring at that. I don't know, I don't like dark theme for Notepad. I don't know. I guess I could try it. I use it for Discord. Oh. To better simulate a new player, I should be using rapid firing guns so I can dodge dance less too. But that's fine for now. Okay, so we go to spawn. What? Okay. So there's a fucking hawk again. I feel like I don't understand how the weights work properly, seeing that. Because I've made it so, in my mind, this should be a 40 weight to spawn medium fighters, and a 6 weight to spawn... No, way less, but still. I guess... No, I'm thinking of the Navy one. This is fine. I guess this is fine. Oops, I left the notepad up, my bad. Yeah, it's Risk of Rain Dervish. That's fine, just start with the Light Fighter. Oops, that was not a good launch. 2 autocannon shots though will kill this little hawk. Ow, 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 fucking stop shooting me. Oh. You little shit. That whenever the fucking rocks where my shot, goddammit. There you go. VS Code, yeah, Urk's trying to get me to use VS Code instead. I gotta try it sometime. Bad missile anyway. Destroyed. Nothing additional spawn during then. No Navy either. I better have it on ships to see Navy. Someone said, and I agree, there should be more asteroids that are hollow that you can fly through. That'd be sweet. You can make that pretty easily as long as you make the model, you know, when I say easily. You can make that as like a terrain feature that's like a thing that spawns, but I don't know if you can do it as like in a field like this. I guess you could. I guess you just have to like he says, not understanding how technically hard it might be. You just have to like replace some of these asteroid models with hollow ones, I guess, that you could fly through. That'd be kind of cute though. Be legitimately very good for hiding and taking cover. Barley says, I wonder if we could build a ram fighter somehow. I mean, probably. You can make guns that have like that like do more physics push on the enemy. So you could like give them a close range meant to be melee weapon that has like huge push and damage. How big can you make them? Some huge asteroids every so often would be sick. I agree. I mean, look over there, Planet Denver. That's just an object. It'd be just like that. Like, yeah, in the campaign for Freelancer, there's there's huge static like alien bases and stuff that you fly through. You could definitely do it. It's a good idea, honestly. I like it. It's a good idea to like, yeah, not just have planets be big. Like, just randomly have like a giant asteroid you could fly through. The AI would probably not handle it very well, though. Is the problem. It'd be cute for players. Ooh, that last flare from that. Barley says, watching you accidentally ram the fighter made me think of it, yeah. Like, in vanilla, like, Freelancer multiplayer and in some mods, it's always, like, a problem of, like, flipping. Like, the engine really likes to, like, make long, big ship models flip the fuck out when they get rammed. So a big thing when you were fighting cap ships was, like, if you just rammed into them, they would, like, flip end over end because they're really long. So much so that, it became a rule on the Discovery Freelancer server of, like, do not intentionally ram cap ships in combat. This is against the rules. You will be... This is considered exploited. You will be... I think these days they've managed to, like... I love that first passing cruise. I think these days they've managed to, like, technically buff it out a bit more with some modding solutions, which is good, like flip protection. Because, yeah, it was pretty bad when you got... You could get some pretty gnarly flips. Oh, this is Double Hawk. Good thing you're fucking dead. I wonder if there's like a cap on the weights. Like maybe me putting it to 40 weight means nothing compared to 1 weight. Or like 10 weight. Maybe it's meant to be decimal like the... Maybe I should be doing it in decimals. Maybe I should have it all add up to 100% in decimal and see if that works better. Because I do feel like I'm seeing Hawks more often than I should. Seen plenty of 1 spawns though and seen plenty of Falcons, but no Navy yet either. No Navy. Which is concerning. Where is the Navy at? Maybe they're getting like density locked out. Maybe I'm gonna put the density up in general. He did it again. He took the damage in a non-critical area again.
Shield failed.
Let me just get out of here. I'm gonna look for Navy. I think Navy is getting like locked out, like they were in the other place. I think they're gonna change the numbers up. Oh god, they're like right behind me.
Shield restored.
Whoa, jeez! This Hulk's ramming me! Alright. Let me quit out. I want to see some Navy. Why are the Navy not spawning? Shanfield 2, same position, rotate, ellipsoid, size. Got all that stuff. Toughness, density. I think maybe density has to go up. I'm not sure. Repop time is 99. It's not like overriding each other, is it? Faction is Liberty Navy Group. Scouts area 0.6, 0.5, same as this. But it's not spawning. Maybe you just gotta put the density up. Maybe turn off the density for the Xenos and see if it helps. Just to like test here to make sure it's actually working. Maybe just turn off the Xenos for a second. Like go down like density 0. And just see if it's like an overriding problem like last time. The fun of not really knowing exactly what everything done is, this is a lot of trial and error with modding this game, as you can see. This is what doing the AI was like. Kind of like retroactively working out what a lot of shit does. And how exactly it all goes together when you change the numbers up from vanilla. So again, we're looking for Navy here. We want to see green on the scanner. Xenos shouldn't even spawn now. They should be completely disabled. Because their weight is set to 0 now. No, I thought I was slick, but I was not slick. I could not fly through that. I kind of flew through that. It's fucked, but like you can, if you want to, mod in this game. You can mod in collision damage to hurt way more. I can't imagine though. Like imagine if this is like Ace Combat, like you hit a fucking rock and it's like, oh, dead. Imagine like fighting in an asteroid field like that, it'd be crazy. Every time you whoopsie hit a rock, it's like, oh, splat. Be nail biting. Ugh. Not seen a lot of Navy, are we, folks? Where the fuck is the Navy? Why are they not being cool and spawning? Definitely should have been here by now. Something's probably wrong with them spawning at all then. Here's an idea. Turn down their time, just so we can see quickly. So turn down their repop time to like 10. Yeah, I was just thinking that, Dervish, too, yeah. Turn their repop time down to 10. And the chance to 1. BMod LN Scouts Area 1 is what I called it, yeah? BMod LN Scouts Area 1, yep. So this should be spawning. Do I need to like define this zone somewhere? Maybe. Maybe I need to define this zone somewhere. Hang on. Asteroids. Trial solar asteroids. I don't see a second Alamosa defined. If Urk was here, I could ask Urk. But Urk is not here. The favorite thing to do is I can just put this encounter up here if this doesn't work. Just try this. I didn't save it. Try this, and if it doesn't work, I'll just try mixing it up for the Xenos encounter, because we know that encounter spawns. So maybe it's just a field I've defined wrong. They should be spawning, like, in 10 seconds, like, really quickly. So, if they're not here in, like, 30 seconds, something's very fucked up with the Liberty Navy spawns I'm trying to do.